Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiff from Journal with Tiff, and today I wanted to come and just show you guys my reading journal. I did have a little feedback from my current stack for 2024, and a few people did say that they were interested in seeing how I set up and utilize my reading journal. So first of all, I keep my journal in this Galen Leather company. This is a zip. This is an A5 in black, and it really I really like the fact that I can zip it up because I have so many small things in here, and so you can zip it up. And I love Galen Leather. They have such good quality products. So the fact that I can zip it up and it doesn't fall out, and you wouldn't believe the amount that this little baby can hold. So let's get in here. All right, so first of all, let's start on this side over here. I don't do a lot of decorating in my journal as far as like the outside. I don't. But I basically just have what I need. I don't do a lot of fluff, and I've kind of just pulled little things from here and there that make it work functionally for me. So first of all, I used to be such an avid reader, especially when I was younger, like before I actually got into my career, like as an adult. And I just read a lot. And then once I got into my career, I was basically doing nothing but reading books that pertain to my career. And so reading, the fun of reading kind of just fell off for me a little bit. And I'm going to say just this past year, I've decided that I wanted to get back into reading because I've always enjoyed it. I remember during the summers growing up, I would be at my grandmother's house and I would read a book from front to back. I actually read the book Roots. I think I was in my junior high. I was in junior high, and over the summer, and for someone just in junior high, reading it Roots just to be for the fun of it, that's a pretty thick book. I remember that. And I'm actually reading one now that's fairly thick, but I'm back into the enjoyment of reading. And that's why I'm so glad that I can incorporate my love of pens and inks and notebooks with my joy of reading. So back to here. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to do is keep up with what I'm reading and how long it takes me to read. I will admit, I am not a fast reader. Some people can just read umpteen books in a month, get through, all these books in a year. Personally, I don't know where y'all get the time for that from, because I don't have the time to read 10 books in a month. I mean, and I don't normally do audiobooks. I normally actually do read, not that there's anything wrong with the audiobook. But I actually just like the process of reading. I don't want to just hear the story, and that's a personal thing. I know a lot of people that do use audiobooks for reading. It's still mentally stimulating. It's just not for me. And I feel like I don't know how to describe it. Holding an actual book in my hand is very satisfying as well. Although I do have a Kindle, but holding an actual book is really dear to me. I enjoy that. So one of the things, this came from Archer and Olive out of one of the sub boxes. I don't think I purchased the sub box, but from Archer and Olive. I wasn't subscribing at the time, but I purchased this off of someone that didn't want it. And it's kind of like library cards, and they come in different colors. And I thought that was so cute. So the way I've been using it is, so I will put the month and the book I'm reading. In the month of October, I read 2 books. Like I said, I'm getting back into the habit of reading, and and I started in the middle of October. So I guess technically had I started at the beginning, I could have gotten 3 books in, depending on the thickness of the book. And it also depends on how that book makes me feel. When I say makes me feel, meaning, is it grabbing my attention that I can sit and read for long periods of time? But we'll get into that process of how I evaluate a book in just a little bit. But I have the month, the name of the book, and I have a stamp. I believe it came, I'm not sure exactly where I got the stamp from. I thought this came out of the Archer and Olive box as well, but it may not have. But it kind of reminded me of a library card, so I like the thought of stamping it. So I stamp when I started reading and when I stopped. Like this was October 15th through October 21st of last year. And that was I read 2 books that month. The month of November, I started reading a book. I'm gonna be honest, I still haven't finished it because I started at the beginning of November, and from Thanksgiving on, I literally just kind of stopped reading because I love Christmas as my favorite holiday to decorate for. So I was just like decorating. I was planning events, throwing events here in my home, working. It was a busy season. And I was so busy that when I had time to read, I would fall asleep. So literally, I barely got anything done in the month of November and December and on into January because work was a little demanding as well. But look how thick this one is. And it just took, I would open it up, and it's a wonderful book. I really like it. It is not a book of love songs by W.E.B. Du Bois. This is just the name of it. So it was it is a really good book. I'm still not done with it. But I'm actually having to start a different book before I finish this one because I have 2 sister-in-laws and we have a book club. And we have a book that I need to have read in about 2 or 3 weeks. So my personal reading is going to have to hold on while I finish this one. I have kind of a hard time reading 2 books at once, but I'm going to have to make it work this time. So when I do go back, I will put here the date that I finished that book, and I may put a note as to why it took me so long to get through that book, regardless of how many pages it was. And then I have a new book that I'm actually starting today. Today is February 1st. And that's how I will keep up with what I'm reading. Of course, I have the pens and pencils that I use. These are not the only ones. I have a lot of pens, pencils, markers, highlighters, but I just selected these here. This is like the most common of, just paper mate pencils that if I want to write and make a note in a book, I can do that. I use this is what number is this? I think I have another one up here. This is number 942 in a Tombow, and I really love this color because it is deep enough that it's noticeable, but it's not bright yellow. That I just love more muted tones and everything, but I can still see through it. I can still see the lettering and everything through it here. I also have this, it says permanent marker. Well, it is a permanent marker, but I use it for when I want to, where's it at? Annotate. So from Amazon, I purchased like clear, like sticky notepads. Here are some. And they're just clear so that I can put them over top of a page. And if I want to annotate, if I don't want to write actually in the book, then I can put that on the page and annotate without worrying about writing in the book. And then I can take it out if I don't want to keep it. So I really like that because sometimes I don't mind writing in books and sometimes I do. I guess it just depends on my mood. And I also, from Amazon, annotate, and I have bought these page flags and kind of in my own mind have my own system for what each color would stand for. I had that written down somewhere. I don't know where I wrote that because I'm kind of doing this on the fly. I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I did want to get this video out there. This is actually a little zip bag that came with the notebook. So with the notebook cover. And so of course I keep pens, anything in here. And I really, really just love that. From the Coffee Monster Sticker Co. I have little bitty stickers that are just so cute. anytime I have a book, I don't use one of these, but if I'm reading off of my Kindle, then I will add a e-reader emoji to it, just to denote, and I'll show you in the book, in my journal, how I utilize that. But yeah, I'll use the emojis, and they have some, excuse me, she has some that are like book haul, new book, cliffhanger. I haven't really used a lot of these, and if you want to use them as a rating system, then you can always utilize these and rate each book that you read between 1 and 5 stars. I thought that was very cute as well. Just adorable. And what else do I hear? Oh, okay. So I do, and I'll show you in just a second. I'll come back to these right here. But just because I'm a little anal about straight lines, I always keep this thing. I think this came from Macy Lane Co. when she used to make personalized journals. And she would always include a ruler. So I always keep a ruler with me. Another thing I really enjoy about this cover is that not only will it fit my notebook, but it also fits my Kindle. This is just the regular, I think this is the paper white? I think so. So I basically purchase books that I can see putting on my shelf. But if it's not a book that I want to purchase, then I purchase it. Like if I don't want to buy the actual paperback or hardcover book, then I will get it on my Kindle. And it's really cool because then I can just carry this together, and it fits so perfectly, and it closes perfectly, and it does not feel overly bulky or anything. So definitely enjoy that. Now for my actual journal. I'm currently using a Wonderland 222 planner. It's not an actual notebook, but the grids on there, I like the grid size. The dates and times on here don't bother me too much, but let's just open this up. I just took some vellum and taped it to the front page. And I always like to start off a reading journal with a quote, and I have reading is the mind, what exercise is to the body. And I just thought that was a really good quote to start off a reading journal. Here I have my rating system, and this is something I just came up for myself. And just really quickly, I basically have my rating system as between 1 and 5 stars or DNF, meaning I did not finish it. I'm going to start from the bottom. DNF, if I didn't finish it, that means I didn't finish it. I just literally could not bring myself to continue to read. It was that enjoyable for me. That didn't happen too often. Usually, I'll look at reviews, or, someone else that has read something, and just the gist of the book, I pretty much can tell if I'm going to at least be able to get through it. But sometime you get into it and it's just like, this is not working for me, and that's okay. You just move on to something that you do enjoy. 1 star was basically, I forced myself to finish the book. I hated it, meaning I couldn't relate to it. I would not recommend it to anyone else, but I did finish it. The best thing about it was that I was able to finish it. 2 stars would be, I didn't like it. It wasn't an easy read. I didn't like the storyline. I probably would not recommend to someone. It's possible, but probably not. Excuse me. 3 stars, it was just average. I mean, I might recommend it. There was nothing exhilarating about it. I enjoyed some parts of it. Other parts I could do without. It was kind of just like a middle of the road type of book for me. 4 stars means I enjoyed it, but there was probably a little something missing. Like maybe it had some slow spots, that it lost my attention, or, some, I don't want to say boring, but sometimes when I read, it's kind of like, okay, how many adjectives can you use to describe the backside of a barn? Okay, like, it's the backside of a barn, if that makes sense. We don't need a page of adjectives. If you do that, you're going to lose me. And that's what would say, if the book was not thoroughly like that, I enjoyed it for the most part, then I'm probably going to recommend it with like a couple warning signs on it. But yeah. And then, of course, 5 stars. I loved it. It was intriguing. I have no complaints. It held my attention from beginning to end. It was an easy read. I had good comprehension of it, and I definitely would recommend to other people. Next, I have To Be Read. So I started this the fourth quarter of 2023, which means I am now in 2024. I need, and I normally would check them off, and I actually need to check off some that I have read. I need to have another To Be Read for the first quarter of 2024. And I'll be honest, I decided to break this down into quarters. Instead of thinking about it a year at a time, I really, again, want to get into reading more books within a year, but I want to kind of pace myself. And then I feel like if I say, okay, this year I want to read a certain amount, then I don't want to feel defeated if I don't get through all of them. So, and I believe this washi came from Archer and Olive as well. So, and now into the actual way I document in my reading journal. So I use, this is a Polaroid, I don't know what you would call what it prints, but it basically prints. Here I have one here that I haven't peeled off yet. It comes off like a small Polaroid once you print it off. It even says Polaroid on the back. I just Bluetooth it to, connect it to my phone, send the picture over, and it prints. When it comes out, the second it comes out, it is dry. I don't have to worry about smudging it, but it does peel, and there is the sticker. So I really like my Polaroid. So cute. But that's what I do. I normally print off a picture of the cover of the book, and I put the title, the author, the genre, when I started it, when I finished it, and the rating that I gave it. And here you can say that I did use, you can see I did use the Kindle. And when it comes down to, like, I may put my own thoughts on it, but this time what I decided to do was, this was a book that like me and my sister-in-laws, we have kind of a book club. We pick a book, each of us picks a book a quarter, and we read it, and then we come together for the weekend and discuss it. So we have book club questions that we answer, and that after the book club questions, then I give my rating. I gave this book 4 stars, and I basically say why I gave it that rating. And of course, because I love my fountain pens and inks, I put the pen and the ink that I used. So that's really kind of it. Now, how I decorate, I'll use washi. Sometime here I use washi and stickers. And let's see. Okay, I also sometime will just pull in ink splotches. But that's like this one right here. This is the book that I'm not quite finished reading. And I don't know how, because it's such a big book, I didn't know how many pages to dedicate, because once I finish, I feel like I'm going to have a lot to say about this book. I'm going to have a lot of questions that need to be answered for myself. So the page layout is set and ready to go. But the book that I'm going to start reading before I finish this one, I've already printed it off, but I'm not going to set the page up because I don't know if this is going to spill over to the next page. So I just kind of tagged that here. And I was contemplating using, these were gifted to me by one of my pen friends, and I thought they were so cute. They're from London Gifties, and I put this here, and I'm like, man, that is so cute. I love it. Or should I start the decor of the outside of the journal with the actual books and just use my little lady here? I mean, it just looks so good on the white page. What do you guys think? Should I put this here and that and decorate around this? Or should I go with the book? I really like the book, but let me know what you think. But that's really it. I really enjoy my system. I hope you guys got some good ideas from this. Let me know. Let me know if you guys use any of the same ideas, and or whatever you guys use. I would definitely love to hear how you guys use your reading journals, and because I'm always about finding new ways to document and continue to grow in my reading journey. So hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.